see that. We're the exchange students from 2014 in Krakow, Poland. We got Brett, Jack, Mark, and Alex.
Hello.
And we're going to be letting you know some of the things that we found out, some of the good things, some of the bad things, a couple tips here and there. So what's our first question, Brett?
Let's talk about the visa process and experience dealing with that.
Alex?
It's about a 2-week experience. All of us are from Vancouver. Mark is from Calgary, so we had to do a different little process.
Yeah.
But it's about 2 weeks. You just go to the consulate, and you have to have all your documentation in order, and they prepare it for you and then send you the visa or your passport with your visa in it.
Recommend not leaving it too long, just in case, because I don't know if you guys, but for myself, I missed a document, so they declined it originally, and then I got it back to them early, and they got my visa out to me a week later. But
yeah, I mean,
as
as visas go, it's not as complicated as some. It's a pretty standard process. There are only 5 Polish consulates in Canada. When Calgary didn't have one, so I had to fly to Vancouver, which was kind of bullshit. But it was a hassle. Correction. But other than that, it's pretty standard, and yeah, do it early so you're not stressing out about it when you have to fly out of Canada in a couple days.
Yeah, I got mine within 5 days of applying, but I know Brett had an issue with a return flight, didn't have his booked, so we both had to book our flights, which ended up being troublesome because we booked flights too far into January and we're going to be home before Christmas, so we had to change those around. Next question.
We'll touch on that later.
Let's talk about the courses that we took here.
All right. Insurance. Take it.
Great
It's
class.
a pretty valuable class, actually. You learn a lot, and it's pretty applicable to everyday life. It's pretty light on the material. There's a class and a lecture, but that kind of seems troublesome, but it's actually very doable, and it's actually a very beneficial class to take over here, so we highly suggest that one.
Yeah, it's two presentations that you do, and then a test, which is like 30 minutes long. It's not that hard. If you go to the classes, you take these little quizzes at the beginning, and that was really helpful. So definitely take that one. EU. Introduction to European Union.
Yeah.
It was getting tougher. That one was getting tougher. It was a little bit of uncharted territory for Canadians.
Yeah, there's some pretty heavy material, considering we don't really know anything about the EU, so we had to kind of focus a lot harder on that one compared to some of the others. But
again, in comparison to back home, it was the schooling here is difficult, but not really as hard as back home.
Yeah, EU probably had the heaviest course load of all of them. We had to read a few lectures in advance before taking the final test. It seemed like a lot to take in, but it wasn't too bad, and we'd probably recommend taking that course as well.
And
especially since you're traveling around Europe this entire time, it's very valuable to know a lot about the structure and creation of the EU as well.
Enough on the courses. Like, what other ones? Let's just get through them. They're all the ones we took were. We took Introduction to Political Relations.
It's interesting.
Which was good. Great prof from America. He killed it, and we enjoyed that one.
Did
Polish for beginners, baby.
Yeah, Polish is tough, but you kind of just
ask for Pytel.
Just enjoy yourself. It'll go by.
You learn something. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, dziękuję bardzo.
Dzień dobry.
International economics.
Probably the toughest exam.
Toughest final exam, but the course is again, it's like you're in Poland, right?
Economics.
You can only expect so much.
And then we had.
That's it.
No, we had one more.
Oh, we had one more. Foreign direct investment.
Foreign direct investment.
FDI. Again, our prof was a beauty for that one.
No test, just a written report they have to do.
And we don't have to hand it in until January, so there's no rush to get it done right away. If you want to experience more abroad, then you could take it back in Canada when you're back. So you have the option.
And he makes the lectures more hands-on. It's more interesting than most other lectures that you find anywhere in any university.
And just a final note about courses, it says the semester goes until mandatory, but we talked to all of our professors and we got them to let us take tests before Christmas. So if you're worried about returning late, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Just talk to them early, and they have a lot of students that want to return by Christmas, so it's not a big issue.
Yeah. Basically, the whole Erasmus program is like a lot of it finishes. A lot of people in the Erasmus program finish before Christmas, so it's simple.
Campus facilities. It's a pretty old campus.
Small campus.
You can walk from across the campus in less than
2 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes.
It's quite small, but it's really close to the downtown center. It's just an economics campus, so there's 15 buildings maybe max.
Yeah.
5.
No, in total. There's probably more than that. But we only had classes in about 4 or 5 buildings. It's easy to navigate. You got a swimming pool. You got to wear a Speedo to go in it. So none of us did because none of us brought one. I would have brought mine if I knew that.
You got a nice little cafe/bar there too, which is pretty chill. If you got a break, you can go in there.
It's a pretty standard campus. It's got a couple nice buildings. The rest are built in the 80s, 90s, and kind of basic. It's a fine facility, but you don't spend much time there because you don't have to.
Let's talk about costs and expenses.
One of the best parts about Poland.
Yeah.
Super
cheap.
Beers are cheap. It's what is the exchange rate's about 3 to 1, so 3 Polish zloty for every Canadian dollar, and on top of that, prices are just cheap here. So I don't know. A good reference point is a pint of beer at any given bar is about 7 zloty.
So $2.50.
$2.50, and that's in a bar. If you buy beer at a liquor store, you get 4 beers for 8 zloty, so less than a buck of beer, and then that transfers over to food as well, and to getting around and seeing stuff. Everything's cheap in relation.
Especially, it's different than the euro. It's way cheaper, and if you don't go anywhere on the euro, this is far better. But it's also really cool.
And there's a mall called Galeria Krakowska, and they've got a Carrefour. It's like the main kind of grocery store up on the top floor. Really cheap stuff. That's where we found ourselves going to quite often. So definitely go there. Let's talk about housing.
Right.
We you guys they did some searching before they got here, and they found a place which is in a great location. It's kind of just a few blocks north of the main square. It's right within walking distance of the campus and the main mall and the grocery store, and it's done really well for us. And we just me and Jack left ours to the last minute, and we luckily got in the same building. But I'd say don't leave it to the last minute, even though it's possible to find housing. All the good places are gone.
Get some leads before you come over here.
Yeah.
You don't have to view the place, but just make sure you have some leads, and then you view it when you're here.
Yeah, or
just to
solidify
check out the
a possibility.
The same.
We went through a company called Easy Rent. So I mean, there's been some positives and negatives that have come with it, but I mean, we're in a good location. It's not that bad. I mean, prices. We paid 3,000 zloty, so about $500 each Canadian. Which, I mean, for our location, everything is good.
It's probably a bit overpriced because we're tourists.
Yeah, but I mean, we went through them, so you could always go to them. But there's lots of different agencies that you can deal with. I know the university provides a couple different ones to talk to, but we went through Easy Rent, so that's an option.
I would not suggest going on campus to live like a lot of the Erasmus students do here. I know one of my buddies, or 3 of my buddies, I was in Core last year, or 2 years ago, and they got a flat on Florianska Street, which is downtown, main center, Old Town, and they pay cheaper than us. So it's basically luck of the draw.
Do your research.
Do your research. Put your time in before you come.
It'll pay off.
And then it'll pay off. Send as many emails as you can before you come over here, basically.
Yeah.
And most of the agencies usually require that you stay up until February, because that's when the regular semester goes to. But I mean, you can negotiate with them, especially with the agency fee that they charge. It's usually quite a bit, but you know,
Especially if your place is falling apart like ours, they are a little bit more lenient.
International services and orientation.
You guys
Uh,
know
Yeah,
that?
you guys.
That's Alex and I got involved with the orientation. It was good. It was a really good chance to meet a lot of people. They took us on a weekend trip to the Tatra Mountains, which is kind of on the border of Poland and Slovakia. So that was really good. Good chance to meet a bunch of people, and they're really good with putting on events. So every week there's always something going on. And,
Every night, basically.
Every night, yeah. So prepare your livers. It was rough. We probably go almost every night for the first little bit, but it's toned down a little bit now.
It slowed down for exams, and now it's speeding back up.
So, but they do a really good job of getting everyone introduced to each other, and everyone's great. You're gonna meet a lot of people. Social events and recreation, I guess that kind of
Same thing.
Yeah. You'll get kind of classified into Erasmus, even though I don't think technically we are Erasmus.
Yeah.
We're just on exchange, but so that's like a European exchange. It's like Erasmus across all of Europe. You'll get an Erasmus card, and student advisors and student coordinators will coordinate Erasmus parties and whatever
trips and stuff.
events, usually every night or every second night while you're here, and they're a lot of fun. You get to actually know a lot of the other exchange students.
And Krakow is also has the most bars and clubs per capita in the world.
Yeah.
So
if one place is not going off, you just go next door and it's going off usually.
Yeah, you'll never have troubles finding something.
The nightlife is awesome. 5 out of 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Just based it on that, basically.
Traveling opportunities. You can really touch on that.
I went a lot myself, just because you might as well when you're over here. The airport from the main square where we are, basically, it's about a 25-minute bus, 30-minute bus. It's about 2 zloty. I'd recommend doing that. Either you can get a cab there, which is about 50 zloty, but I usually just take the bus. And you can fly anywhere, but the Krakow airport's pretty small in comparison to main cities in Europe. But you just go on skyscanner.ca, or if you're over here, .pl, and you'll get the cheapest flights possible. And I did flights a lot of the time because I prepared before I came over here. But these guys, they did a lot of busing, and that's the cheapest way possible, obviously, if you want to go to Germany, Czech Republic, Prague. Where else do you guys go? Budapest. Highly recommend Budapest.
Yeah.
Very cool city.
Budapest was good.
And the trains everywhere in Europe. And if you're where we live, where you will be, the main mall, what Brett recommended first of all, is where the bus station is and the main train station. So you just go there, book your ticket, and then you're off.
It's
So
like
it's
a
easy
5-minute walk from where we're
Yeah.
living. I would say biggest takeaway is be organized. Plan more than a couple weeks in advance. It will help. Like I was I'm not very organized, so booking stuff, I was always leaving it to the last minute. It was always way too pricey, so it kind of put me on the ass a couple times.
Yeah, if you're flying, look into Ryanair.
Yeah.
It's really cheap. I mean, they usually fly to airports a little bit further from the city.
outside the city, but then you have to take a city shuttle, which is not much at all. So
Or if you're okay with saving some money, like what Alex and I did, we just bussed pretty much everywhere. Like we did a 16-hour bus to Munich to get to Oktoberfest. I mean, it was
It's
bad.
part of traveling
It was
around
fun
Europe for
It was
cheap.
$80 round trip for the bus. If we would have flown, it probably would have cost us over $500 each.
Yeah,
So
if you're on a budget, it's pretty
Yeah.
much the only way to go, and it's like that all over Europe.
I mean,
There's
you can
trains
just
and buses.
sleep on it. It's like saving a night at a hostel or
Yeah, exactly.
whatever. So it's really not that bad. But yeah, Polski bus.
take advantage of traveling when you can. Like a lot of the courses says it's mandatory you have to go to. If you talk to the teachers and they're really lenient, they know you're on exchange, they know you want to go travel around Europe or from a different continent, just talk to them about it and say, hey, look, I have this planned. I'm not going to be making class on Monday. And they're totally understandable about it, but
And
make the most of your traveling when you can is my biggest advice.
like classes are beneficial to go to, but to write the finals and to do well on them, it's totally unnecessary. Pretty much you have all the information to study from. Brett, want to touch a screen? Sorry, a little pause here.
But I mean, make sure that you're there for the first little bit, because
Yeah.
some classes are going to say that your attendance is mandatory, or some aren't. So make sure that you're there for that first week.
Yeah,
so you can
check
get some
it
more
out,
information.
suss it out, and use your intuition and your instincts to
Figure it out.
figure out the rest. What are we on next?
It's not here, but I think we should talk about.
Kebabs.
We can get that later, but the procedure of registering for classes.
Yeah.
Oh
God.
It's we
It's like-
struggle with it.
It's like
for a little
reading
while.
Chinese backwards. It's like impossible.
It's Polish.
It's confusing. But what we did is we went into the IPO office, which is what International Programs Office or something.
Yeah.
And
I just followed you guys.
and they're really helpful with kind of showing you how you should, sign up for courses and how to interpret it. But the way that they do it, it's like lectures and classes are split, and then in terms of days, they have it in Polish days, but like 2 letters.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Ask for some help from a
A person who speaks
local
Polish.
student.
And they'll also send you like a master schedule of like every single day from the beginning to the end of the semester, like the times and where it is.
Check it all
I think
the
it's
time.
important to really check that, because sometimes they change
Yeah.
classrooms. So you'll think you're going to what you normally go to, but it's actually in another classroom and it changes. So, really, really look into that.
Or we had a couple cancellations too that we didn't even really find out.
A lot
about
of the
until-
time, the teachers cancel the class.
Yeah.
Just be on your email at all times, because that's very beneficial to go traveling as well.
Yeah, we had a month straight of canceled class in
For
one class,
course.
which was awesome.
And in the year before us, they had classes, just like Tuesday to Thursday or something?
Yeah, so they make sure to set up your schedule so you have a couple days in the middle, Friday off or Monday off, and then you can do a 3-day weekend, which is very beneficial.
Yeah, we had Monday to Thursday, but what they did with the Polish classes is they put you in the classes based on your last name. So that kind of screwed us, because some of us, it put us Monday and Friday classes, so we'd have Monday to Friday. But if you go and you talk to the professor and really try to push her into letting you, him or her, into a certain class that fits your schedule the best, usually they'll be okay with it. Luckily, we ended up getting in the same class,
Yeah.
even though originally
They
we
all
weren't.
transferred into my class, which was on the best days, and we just said that we were all going to be traveling around later together, and that the other classes didn't fit in our schedule, and yada yada yada. So it was good.
Yeah, it's really good to keep communication with your professors and be on their good side. Safety.
It was pretty
safe.
Yeah, it's pretty safe. We didn't have any problems.
It's
Well,
You did get broken into.
Oh yeah, I'd say Krakow, like safety when you're going out at night is fine. You feel really safe.
if you're walking the streets at 2 a.m. in the morning, you're not going to get
Like,
mugged or
yeah.
anything like that. It's safe.
We had a break into our place, which we think was an inside job. I think they're gonna make it into a movie later on. But no, our door was not secure, and we let our landlord know about it when we first got in, and she didn't do anything. So in Canada, it would probably be her fault here. I mean, we're in Poland, so it's our fault.
We don't have much pull,
But,
but the
yeah.
people here are all friendly, and you won't get yourself into any confrontations that you actually thought you would if you were coming to Poland. It's a pretty big stereotype. Everybody's nice here, and it's awesome.
what to bring? I'd say pack pretty lightly.
Yeah.
When you start, leave a little extra room. You're gonna want to buy stuff out here.
You probably don't need shorts. I think that's
Well,
like
in September. I was
but-
pretty sure it's warm.
yeah,
Yeah.
It depends when you get here. Classes start at the end of September, but in Europe, it's kind of customary. I think no one wears shorts, so you kind of feel like an idiot walking around in shorts. And plus, it gets not cold, but it's warm enough or cool enough to just wear pants and a t-shirt,
Yeah,
which is what you find yourself doing a lot of the time.
yeah, but pack light. I mean, things are cheap out here. You don't want to buy stuff. We got really lucky, I'd say, with the weather.
Yeah.
We kind of
Couple
figured.
of 33 days.
Yeah, we kind of figured it was gonna be really cold in the winter, but I mean, yeah, we had days in November where it was like
30,
20, 25 degrees Celsius. And
Yes.
it feels weird, but no, we've been lucky. It only snowed one day.
barely.
Yeah, barely. I mean, I think the lowest it got was what, just
Minus-
below 0.
-3.
So But
What else to bring?
Bring one book or like one notebook where you can have all your subjects in.
Yeah, they don't sell lined paper here.
Yeah, it's
just,
all
just graph paper.
And me, Brett, and Alex had to buy some small books that
Yeah.
didn't do the justice. Mark brought his own books, which was a pretty smart idea.
I probably could have lent you guys
Yeah.
each a book. I had so many
Just
books.
bring your own one UVic book where it separates a course into each section, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's
And, like,
about it.
I brought 3 pens and they all ran out of ink, so I don't know, either buy new pens or maybe
Yeah.
bring a couple more.
but there is places on campus. Where
Oh
you
yeah, you
buy
can also
stuff.
buy pens here. It was
Yeah.
like the last week I didn't feel necessary.
Yeah. Language.
Ooh,
There's
it's
a bit of a barrier.
the language barrier is kind of like anyone who's relatively young, probably 30 or under, has a decent grip on speaking English, and it's relatively easy to converse. But you find that some of the older Polish people have no idea how to speak a lick of English. But at the same time, it's pretty easy to get around and to get your point across or whatever. Ask someone who's younger how to say something.
Yeah, get to know some basic words though. Like they appreciate when you put the effort in.
Yeah.
Like
Like we can even
yes,
tell them a
yes,
few
Tish,
words.
tak, piękna. You got to know that one for sure.
That's big.
That
Means you're
means
very
you're
beautiful.
so beautiful. We pulled that out a couple times. Dziękujesz, thank you.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień
is
dobry.
hello.
Hello. Do widzenia, goodbye. Dobry wieczór. It's like hello and at night. That's pretty much all you need.
Prosh.
Proszę.
Prosha means a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I see people say it everywhere.
Yeah.
Pivo's beer. It's pretty easy. I
Just
mean,
have a smile on your face and pretend that you actually are wanted.
you learn it all in the Polish class. It's I think it's considered like one of the hardest languages to learn, but at the same time they know you don't speak any Polish, and so they take it pretty slow, and it's not bad at all.
I'd recommend learning some though before you come. Just like a couple of basic ones. Well, I mean, like I found like the first like month, like I thought the barrier was like huge, and I was this is really difficult. I wish I knew some stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, once you get in the Polish course, you're gonna learn some things. But
If you have the time, it doesn't hurt, basically. But you don't. I didn't have a lick of Polish. Mark didn't have a lick of Polish before we came over here.
I could say
And
kurwa.
It was fine.
That's just a swear word, though.
Don't worry about it. But if you want to actually learn the culture and learn the language, then we recommend it. Basically,
and that's the next couple things: food and culture.
Ooh, pierogies, kebabs,
I mean, there's kebabs everywhere,
and
Yeah.
Polish
Yeah.
McDonald's.
We're all pretty sick of pierogies by now. I
Yeah.
ate them for
Yeah.
dinner almost every day for 2 months.
I mean, what it comes down to is basically if you're a foodie and you want to really have experience a European cuisine and a culture that's really into food, Poland's probably not your best bet because of the war. Its cuisine and food culture was kind of diminished. They didn't really have the supplies, so they're kind of just building that part of their culture, and it's pretty much stuck on cabbage, potatoes, and I mean there's totally restaurants, but there's no like signature dishes out in Polish other than pierogies and whatever else. What would be another good one? I don't even know really.
To
It's
save
pretty
money,
basic. It's pretty basic.
We made ourselves food just to save money. That's pretty standard. We're all on a budget, so
Yeah, Alex
go
is the
out-
cook.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We go out to have a meal once a week, sort of thing. But we'd be making ourselves food the entire time.
Yeah, but I mean, if you are lucky enough to get
Oh.
Krakow, like
Yeah.
Milk.
I'd say milk. Yeah,
Milk
Milk
bar.
bar.
The milk bar on Tomasha or Tomasash.
Tomasha.
Tomasa. Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
It's
it's
it was
like
our
it's kind of like
favorite
a
spot.
mix between like you get like the Polish kind of Americanized version of it. It's like
Pretty
really
young
cheap.
you got to get the chicken and bacon Greek salad. It was pretty much our go-to 2 or 3 days a week when we first got here. It was great.
And I want to say like where we live, there's like this place called Zapka. It's like a convenience store.
Yeah.
A lot of the places are very hesitant to take large bills. So when you go to the ATM machine, like you're gonna get hundred zloty bills out, and if you're just buying something like 8 zloty or something, you hand them 100, they're not They'd be
probably
too
won't take
receptive of it.
Not because they don't trust that it's real. They just don't have the change throughout the day to keep giving out $90 in change when they only left with
Even
hundreds.
though like $100 zloty is only like $35, they're still a little stingy.
I never
on
really
that,
had that problem. Like I bought packs of cigarettes, but
Yeah.
it does happen.
I like to break my 100 bills at the big
At the
grocery
strip
store.
club.
No, at the grocery store they have automatic machines to check out. So I'd always just throw in the $100 bills there, get 80 back in 10s and 20s, and you're good.
Yeah.
Is there any other cultural things? I mean, say the
Auschwitz. Auschwitz.
Yeah,
is
cool.
I mean, obviously, if you go to Poland, you got to visit. All our visitors that came to say hi to us ended up doing a day trip to Auschwitz, and it's definitely heavy. It's really interesting. It's one of those things that that you got to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of history. I'd say go and do it early. A lot of these things, because I know we talked about doing a bunch of things that we still haven't done, like Schindler's
Factory
and stuff. We talked about doing that early.
I saw the movie.
But
I'm just kidding.
yeah, well, I mean, even that movie, like Schindler's List, was filmed here. There's a lot of history to it, and when you kind of
It's
think
really
about it,
cool. Yeah, it's got one of the oldest medieval, or the oldest medieval and the largest medieval square in Europe. It's got
Cool.
it's got a ton of history. I mean, just in the main square in the old town alone, there's like 50 old, churches and cathedrals and stuff to see. And the Wawel Castle is unbelievable.
and they got a really nice Christmas market too.
Yeah.
It's one of the top in Europe.
Oh, the river's awesome. If you get here,
Yeah.
go in September and
When it's nice.
when it's nice out, go to the river. There's boats on the river. You can get beers and snacks and walk. There's a bike lane, and it's awesome. Nice and sunny, and lots of people hanging out.
One cool thing about Krakow too, it's not too big of a city. It's small enough that you're not overwhelmed or anything. You're not in like Amsterdam or Paris or Rome. Like you're in you're in a small city, but you still feel like you're in a city. It's kind of like Victoria in that way, and you can do it all in 2 days. But it's way less stressful being in there than a big city in Europe, because sometimes it gets stressful.
Yeah, you can really get your bearings and understand the city. Like you've lived there for years. It feels like. We kind of know a ton about the city, whereas I feel like some people that go to other larger cities, there's whole parts of the city that's unexplored, and you have no idea what you're doing.
This next one doesn't really relate to us that much, but co-op opportunities. I've seen them post, because when you get here, you get put into a big Facebook group, and I've seen them post about links to opportunities in Poland. None of us are pursuing an international co-op, but it is possible to do it out here.
It'd be a cool place to work. I don't know if the wage is very good.
Yeah, the wage is pretty poor.
But I mean, when you think about it, like the wage would be poor, but you're living in a place that's super cheap.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances itself out. But I mean, Krakow would still be a really cool place to live for an extra 4 months for a co-op. But
Yeah, especially.
none of us really got to do it.
Get back to you.
We can go through some individual comments or.
All right, I'll start off for these guys.
But
The stereotypical Poland, you're totally wrong before you think you're going there. It's completely different. It's just a normal city in Eastern Europe. Very cool. It's chilled out, really quiet, but it's awesome. Coming here, I didn't think it was going to be like this at all, and I was pleasantly surprised. So just do it. If you don't think you're going to like it, just do it. Trust us, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been to a ton of Western European cities before, and they're all very interesting, but they're all very standard European, and you kind of feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again sometimes. But here, it was like a whole different feeling. So if you've been to a lot of places in Europe and you kind of feel like, obviously it's amazing to continue to see different places, but this is like a out of this world new experience, and it was awesome. It was way different than what we expected. I was not bummed out, but it wasn't one of my top choices. But it was definitely an awesome place to go on exchange. And if I had to pick again, I'd probably put it as one of my top, if not my top choice.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about this place. We had a lot of friends visit us, and they were blown away by what they saw here. They seemed pretty envious that we got this as their choice, and they had no idea that Krakow was such a great place to go. So yeah, it's a lot different from Western European countries, as Mark said. That's where I've been before. So it's pretty cool to experience the Eastern Europe culture.
Yeah, I have Krakow relatively low on my list, but honestly, I mean, everyone's gonna say that the city they went to is like the best city, but honestly, I can't see myself being anywhere else. Like, it's cheap, nightlight's great,
Fun.
school is good, fun.
Oh,
I mean, it's really hard to beat any of those things, and if you're lucky enough to get Krakow, you should be stoked.
Yeah.
also, if you're used to the girl to guy ratio that Vic has, it's pretty good out here too. Like I remember we were sitting outside of class once and we watched like 17 or 18 girls pile out of it, and then 2 guys. Like there's a lot of girls in school here, and there's a lot of girls in Krakow. It feels like
If you're a guy, that's
if you're a
coming.
guy.
Or if you're a girl.
Or if you're a girl and you just don't have a lot of girlfriends. There's also some really cute guys out there.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's central. It's really easy to travel around. So if you're someone that wants to travel, like it's super chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap it up now.
Is that all? Is that what?
I think that's it.
I think that's
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Put this one of your top choices.
Yeah.
Regret it.
Yeah.
Hopefully
not
you
gonna
have
regret
the
it
same
for sure.
experience we did.
Do widzenia.
Do
widzenia.
widzenia.
Do widzenia.